Guys, welcome to the next video. Today's video is more of a self-care video and I wanted to go some things that I've been doing and what I've been coping with throughout the coronavirus and us staying at home and things like that. So I've been trying to do things that will relax me, that will keep my mind occupied, and things that I can do when I can't see family, such as FaceTime, things like that, which I'm about to do after I do this video. It was really important for me to do this because I think it's such a time where none of us know the end. We just don't. We're at a point where we have dates that were set by, government and things that they're hoping we will get to, but nobody knows for sure. And I'm really missing work. I'm missing the children. I stay in contact with my colleagues and we're staying in contact, but we miss the children a lot, and family is a huge thing for me. My mum's in Ireland and my dad's in America, so it's extremely, it's really unusual because my dad and myself have now become a lot closer, whereas we wouldn't have been that close before. Not that we weren't close, but I think because it was me and mum for so long, he was very aware and I was aware that, my mum comes first and she always will, and not in a bad way that he doesn't, that there's not an importance on him, but for sure we have gotten a lot closer. So I think it is because of COVID, but also when your family are abroad anyway without the coronavirus and then this happens, I feel a little bit powerless. My dad is really sociable, so he's probably, talking to his friends, and in America they still get to go out. I think there's not a specific time. There probably should be, but there isn't. I think there is a lot of states in America that would really like a lockdown, but as far as I know, he's in Boston and it's not. Places are shut and things like that, and there's special times you can go to the store and things like that for over 60s, but as far as I'm aware, so far anyway, there isn't the strictest lockdown as there is in Europe. So that's kind of more dangerous in terms of the coronavirus spreading and things like that. And Dad thinks he's had it. My dad was in China in November, and he thinks he had it when he came home on the way home. And he's recovered. And then obviously it was only in February where everything came to light. But when he heard the symptoms and what they were, he's convinced he's actually had it already. And then Mum, more so, I'm concerned about, because we FaceTime every day. But she is on her own, so she's on her own. She's been retired for a very long time. My dad is self-employed and he's a lawyer, so he's got his own business, where Mum worked in patenting and licensing and she's retired. So she had little groups that she went to, and now, living by herself, it's, as you can imagine, if you do, it's very difficult and challenging for her. So I'm constantly thinking about her, and I'm constantly worried and anxious, I suppose. So I was trying to do things that made me feel a little bit better. And one of the things my mum did say, because she'd asked for it for so long, and you can see it in the background, is a Himalayan salt lamp. And she'd asked for it because she'd heard of the health benefits for asthma. So asthma sufferers, apparently it purifies the air. It just calms. It's on now, but I think the benefit is when it's on at night, it really gives your room that glow, and apparently it purifies the air and things like that. Now I've only had it for 3 days, so that's, so in saying that, because she had said that and because she'd asked for it, I'd gotten it for her in November, and because I kind of asked her how are things going, and once or twice she'd mentioned the Himalayan salt lamp and said that it's made a huge difference in her asthma and in the air. It purifies the air. Now I know I've seen online a few things, so I bought it basically the same version, and it is very big. I'll try and put a picture somewhere. You can see probably from the back even that it does in the background, and it does come carved, so you can really see the Himalayan salt, the pink Himalayan salt, and there's a special bulb that goes up in between, and it's very easy to put together. So far, it hasn't purified the air from what I can see. I'm sure it is doing it, but I've looked online at a few people that have gotten them, and the kind of before and after, what they thought, and they had said it purifies your air, so you can have them anywhere in your, some of them had them in their living room, some of them had two, one at each side, so yeah, they seem to be quite reasonable. So I've put that in just for a little bit of relaxation, and I've kind of changed the bedding and things like that to make it a bit more kind of welcoming and kind of floral and a little bit more. I'm on a different side of the bedroom today, guys, because I'm doing a lot of kind of changing around of the room, as you can see, so it'll all be kind of the way I wanted by the end of the week. So that was one thing I'd done. So this was actually, as I said, I don't know if I've said it before, but this was actually inspired by Choccykaz's video, and she did like some things that 5 items that she put in a box around this time, because we're all obviously struggling with the coronavirus, and I will link that video below if I haven't said it already. So yes, it just keeps your mind going, and I've really struggled with any motivation this week. I know that I had a couple of weeks back put up, which are great, you know, the journals and things like that, and I've got them here. So I am really going to start doing things like that. So what I thought I'd do is my own version and show you guys. Now, I don't have a box to put all these in, but these are kind of the 5 or 6 things that I will take with me, kind of, or will go back to. So the first thing is, for me, is skincare, and it's just relaxing. It's just something that you can take care of yourself, basically, because you're in your home taking control of your body and your mind, and it does help your body and mind. So this is just one of that I've gotten, and this is something that I would repurchase often. So this is the first item, and this is the Garnier Skin Active vitamin C shot. Now, what I mean by all these items is that things that you can go to, that you can come back and go to again, that give you calm, that give you release. It doesn't have to be a physical thing, but these are just things that I'm showing you. You could have your own. So yes, that's the vitamin C, just a fresh mask tissue. They've been out for a while. I got that on Amazon for £2. Because it is difficult. I know online shopping is probably probably one of the biggest businesses right now, because we can't go anywhere, and if we do, we try to avoid it because we're afraid of catching the coronavirus. So that was something I got. Then I have just this little bag, and what I've put in here are 3 sugar papers, but they're of I'm trying to get some inspiration for another junk journal, and I have no idea what I'm going to do with these, and I'd kind of lost inspiration. But these I haven't come out of their packaging yet, and they're sugar paper designs for the top of journals. So that's the first one, and it says, "The joy of dressing is an art," and I thought that was quite nice. So sugar paper is very delicate. They usually use it on collage and things like that, but what I hadn't realised it was sugar paper, and this was actually supposed to be the cover of a journal I've been asked to actually make too. So I didn't intentionally mean it to be a business or anything like that, but I've had 2 people ask me to make journals for them, so that was kind of the whole thought process behind it. But again, they're sugar paper, so I will have to find out what type of glue to use, things like that. So that's something that will be, I'm hoping to get back into and really kind of set my mind on things. That's the first one. The second one was for a little boy I was asked to make one for, and he really likes forests and animals. And so I found this again, which I thought was a book cover, but it's sugar paper, and it has a deer, and there's kind of forest, and you can see there's the moon and things like that, and it's just beautiful. It's really nice. So I'll have to find a way to make those covers for the journals. And one that I had for myself that I'd gotten, it was another bodice, another fashion design, and it's from Stemperia, and that's what that looks like as well. So this I was actually just going to frame and put in my room or somewhere, or gift it to someone, and that's what that looks like. I know the shine today. So that's just something I've been trying. It's the second thing I've been trying to get my mind at, in terms of challenging, and obviously those 2 requests to send the journals from back home, I got 2 requests when I had said I was doing these things. So yes, that will kind of, it's inspiration and motivation to keep going, which is very difficult at the minute, I think, because my dad is he's a very capable person. Not that my mum isn't. She's a very capable, independent woman. She raised me, you know, with my grandmother. It's not that. It's just, I think emotionally you're already vulnerable if you're not seeing people. So I think that side of it was very, I'm aware of that a lot, I think. So that's what I'm hoping to do. And I keep them in here because they're so delicate as sugar paper. I didn't actually realise. So luckily I had this from Christmas. Somebody gave me a gift and it arrived in that. So I was able to, thankfully it was just the right size. And these are just some of the other things that I had got that I'd made already. And the videos are on my channel. It was just things that I could add to my own junk journal. So this was my own. I'm trying to think of inspiration to add. I'm thinking to myself, maybe these are the times to reflect, and what you could add will really mean a lot after we come out of all of this. So you've seen me make this before. This was just something of myself. I put kind of pockets in there too. It was my first ever junk journal. I think you guys will see it on my channel, but I can link it below. But it's something that you can continue to do. You can always, there's room for more each time. So, and then I had since made an envelope. So you have this as an addition, a gold envelope there as well, guys, that I made. That comes out here. And I made that from paper and eyeshadow, and this is actually glitter eyeshadow, and then the brown is actually an envelope, so you can put things in it, so it is buildable. And then the last picture there, I think you saw me make as well, was that there. So you can add to these. So it's just, I haven't even looked at it since I've just done this video. I've actually just looked at it now because I'm trying to get the motivation, just really hasn't been there. I'm trying to keep yourself you know, keep yourself going emotionally and physically, because I think people, me and my friends were talking about this the other day, you either come out of it really kind of fit and healthy, or you go to the other side and you just eat and you do these things, and I can relate to both, I really can. So that was that side of it. So the next thing that I've been doing is, I haven't done it yet, but I'm trying to plan on doing it now. Mum has been doing it a lot, and she said it really helps. And it's just writing, basically just writing things down and your emotions. And this is a journal I've had that was given to me that I don't even think, I think I put my name on it and was never actually used. So yeah, that's something to kind of look at, is writing. So there will be the 3 things so far. So kind of physically with the face, your own facial at home, or just buying one online. Creating things doesn't have to be for others. I'm doing those 2 journals, hopefully. You know, I think emotionally you just have to have, especially it depends on your environment. If you're self-isolating with a big family, it's going to be tough, but you kind of, what I've seen is from my dad, who's really, he is self-isolating by himself, but he never loses that side of kind of, hi, how are you, very kind of happy, which is great. And you know, I'm happy for him, but then I call Mum and I can really see emotionally it's tough. So you know, trying to kind of balance everything. I understand people are not, it's struggling for everyone. So things that I was trying to do, so writing is a big thing I think I have to get back into. I haven't written in a very long time. And book, you know, I haven't really gone near even thinking about another story or books or anything like that. So yes, and I think writing your journal, there isn't any expectation because it's your own writing. It's, you know, no one's going to see it. It's whatever you want it to be. Nothing is right or wrong. So I think keeping that in mind. And then the next thing was reading, and I'm reading at the minute. I know I did a book review on The Botanist's Daughter, and reading has been great. I have my Kindle on my phone. It's a Kindle iPhone version of a Kindle, and I've been reading The Girl You Left Behind, which is kind of a thriller, and the previous one, which I will link below, there is a playlist on my channel that has book reviews. So that was The Botanist's Daughter. The one that's going to be up the next video will be about The Girl You Left Behind, which is, you know, is definitely very different, but still very gripping and things like that. So I'll go through that. So I think it's just taking time for yourself, really, getting back to what we're doing today, writing, finding something you're good at, which can be really difficult when you think about it, because none of us have ever had this amount of time. We might have had time off, but we've never had this amount of time where it's been controlled and we can do certain things and we don't have that end date. So I think if some people have an end date, they go, okay, now I'm going to plan X amount. We don't have that. So I think that's trying to kind of keep momentum up and things like that as well is important for everyone. And I think for me, you know, trying to maintain seizures and things like that has been difficult. I do suffer from night seizures, so the day seems to be fine, it's the night seizures. So I'm on new medication, which has been great because it stopped them, but it is that kind of, because it's night, they do have an ingredient where it's a little bit of a sleep tablet too, so that has been helping in terms of things like that. But it can be stressful when you're trying to keep in contact with your family. I've got some friends in school, some colleagues, and they're also from different countries, and they're obviously had plans at Easter. We'd all had plans. I planned to go to Ireland. I had another friend who planned to go back to Poland. I mean, and literally everything was just stopped in its tracks, just like that. So, and they're now on their own at home. So, I mean, you know, it's difficult, but I think when I have my family that are suffering and mum, and I can't do anything except look at her through FaceTime, I just find it quite stressful. So trying to find things for yourself. So things like the Himalayan salt lamp, I will give you a review on. I've only had it 3 days, so things that I've noticed so far, definitely, obviously, is a beautiful glow to the room. It's quite bright now outside, but you can still see it gives a little bit of a glow to the room. I can attest that when it is night time, it does really glow the room quite nicely. Difference in the air. Mum said she after a week, 2 weeks, she felt like when she went into her bedroom, the air was different. It was off fresher. Apparently, if you suffer from asthma, I've seen online and different reviews that it really improves asthma. It improves dust in your house. I think one of the girls on the review said that she was redoing her house, and this room that she had the lamp in was the only room that the air seemed to be a lot clearer and a lot better. So yeah, as it goes by, I will definitely let you know how I get on, but so far, just for the relaxing side, not the health benefit side, it's been great. It really has. And I got new bedding, and I am doing a redecoration, so I know it's a bit of an odd angle today. So yes, this was the video today. I do want to say that I hope everyone is okay. Coming on and doing reviews of makeup is very odd. When we're going through a time like this, I did feel very conscious in the last video that I was doing a review on a facial, and you know, none of us know what's happening, and it feels very surreal. So today, that's why I wanted to come on and just talk about what's happening, really, because it's great to have all these things, and but also I know it takes people's minds off it. So there's two sides to it, you know. I did feel very conscious reviewing the Nip and Fab facial, but then I thought, you know, maybe this is helping others as well. So if it did, that's great, guys. This was the video. I hope you all enjoyed it. I do hope everybody else is finding something that they're, if they are struggling, finding something that is working for them. I think I'm trying to kind of read when I find a good book. You know, being there for your family is really good, but sometimes that takes energy away from you, and it's not their fault. It's just, you know, it does take that energy, particularly if it's been a call that's quite emotional, which it can be. Recently it can be, and it obviously will be if you have family that can't see one another. So it's important to kind of have, you know, that time that you just figure out for yourself, really. So yes, so that's what I've been doing. You know, really want to support Mum. I really want to make sure she's okay, and I think I can only imagine what it must be like, you know, being by yourself 100% of the time, and the whole world is kind of not falling apart essentially, but I suppose for somebody who lives alone, it is that bit more difficult. So it's just on my mind a lot, and so I FaceTime, and you know, we're there for each other, which I do think really helps. So as soon as I'm able to travel, I will go across to her. But yes, guys, I hope you're all feeling well. I hope everyone's keeping safe. Thank you for looking at the video, and I'll see you in the next one.